Welcome back to our course Network Theory and Transmission Lines. So today we are going for the second portion of our course Transmission Lines. In the first three units we have discussed about different networks, different concepts in the networks. In the fourth unit and fifth unit we are going to discuss about the transmission lines. The fourth unit we are going to discuss about the transmission lines 1 and fifth unit in the transmission lines 2. So transmission lines 1, we are going to discuss about different types of transmission lines and what are the basic, all the fundamentals of the transmission lines we are going to discuss in the fourth unit along with the different types of distortions and the loading. So basically what do you mean by the transmission lines? So in this lecture we are going to discuss about we are going to have some introduction about the transmission lines and we are going to discuss about different types of transmission lines. So these are the outcomes of our presentation. By the end of this lecture, we are able to learn the definition of the transmission line and the significance of the transmission line, and you are able to classify the different types of transmission lines. So what do you mean by the transmission line? So the role of transmission line is to guide the electrical energy right from one place to another. That means so the energy, usually the energy can be transmitted either by the radiation of free electromagnetic waves as in the radio, or it can be constrained to move or carried out right in some various conducting arrangements, right. So in various conducting arrangements means one of the connecting arrangement is nothing but the transmission line here. So that means that that is the reason why we can define a transmission line as a conductive method of guiding the electrical energy from one place to another. So in communication, basically the applications of this transmission line usually it will be there in the communications where this can be used as a link between an antenna and a transmitter or a receiver or a receiver. So these transmission lines can be of many types. We will discuss in the upcoming lecture. But these are not only used for transmitting the energy. So these can be the transmission lines can also be used like a circuit elements. Like we can use it like an inductor or a capacitor or different filter circuits and a transformer and even as an insulator with very high frequencies. So why the transmission line acts as an insulator at a high frequency? These are all we will discuss in this module, that is the unit 4 module. We are going to discuss about all these things. So these transmission lines, the significance of the transmission lines is we can use the main significance is to transmit an electrical energy from one place to the another. And these are also used in the many applications, and also these can be used as a measurement tool or the measurement line, right. So when we are going to uh, when we are going to use the impedance matching networks in the design of the filters. So in the design of the filters, when we are using the impedance matching networks, these transmission lines can be used as a measuring devices, right. So these are the different applications of the transmission lines which we are having with respect to the different what we say the different conductive methods are and in different applications in the communications. So next we will discuss about the different types. So let us classify the different types of transmission lines. So basically there are four types of transmission lines. So one is the parallel wire type, other one is the coaxial type, the other one is the waveguides, the final one is the optical fiber. These are the basic classification of the transmission lines, so which is required for better understanding of the context of the transmission lines. So here, coming to this different types of transmission lines, let us discuss each one in detail with respect to the figures as shown here. So first let us go with the parallel wire type transmission line. First let us go with the parallel wire type transmission line. So basically from these figures we can see this. These are the main type of common type of transmission lines which are used in the telephone and the power lines. So why it is used in the telephone and the power lines? So because it is the parallel wire type, so there will be the some impedance matching will be there between the two lines over here, and these are also used as it is in the open the because of its construction. These are also known as the open wire type. So that means here, so as it is used in the open wire line, that means it is the open space. So that is the reason why the dielectric medium used in this design of this transmission lines is going to be the air. So that is what the dielectric medium over here. So air is going to be the dielectric medium here also in this figure and both the figures. You can see these are the common type of transmission lines which we will see in the which we are seeing in the regular in our regular daily life, right? So that is the reason why these are why mostly are widely used in the as the telephonic lines or the power lines or telegraphy lines. So these runs so the pieces of these lines are the short runs of these lines are also used in the as a antenna feeders and also for the impedance matching purpose. So coming to the advantages of this, so these are cheaper. The first thing is these are cheaper as it is a open wire lines. So the lines are easy to construct and are also the cheaper. So as it is the dielectric medium is the air, the dielectric loss is going to be very small in this. So open wire lines, so these lines is going to be balanced with respect to the air. So that is the reason why the loss is going to be very less. So but as the open, it is a open wire line, so but there will be some significant energy loss due to the radiation. Due to the EM radiation, we are going to have significant loss in the energy due to the radiations. And also as it is the open wire, we can say so many atmospheric conditions is going to be comes into the picture. So because the dielectric medium is air over here, so as it is an open wire, so different atmospheric conditions when the like in the during the winters or like especially in the rainy season when some cyclones or something is there, so these are going to be affected by the atmospheric conditions because of due to some movement or due to the wind. So these are going to be affected with respect to the atmospheric conditions. And also these are one of the disadvantages is shorted by the flying objects. So you can see sometimes in our areas also, so when some crows or some birds are staying on the standing on the lines, so there will be some spark will be happening. So that spark is due to the short circuit of the lines as it is a parallel wire line. When those two lines is going to be meet at the common point due to these flying objects, right, due to the force of these flying objects, we can have the short circuit of this, right? So basically these are the main advantages and disadvantages of the parallel wire type transmission lines. So these the electrical energy which we are transmitting, the electrical energy which we are transmitting here, the electrical energy is going to be set up by the electric fields. So between the lines, between the two parallel wire lines is going to be set up by the electrical energy. So here also the electric field and H field is going to be there, E field and H field. So like here what we can say here is if you want to draw the particular diagram over here, I can make it like, so this is how the E field and H field is going to be there in the parallel wire type lines. Between two lines, so this is how the E field and H field is going to be there. Right. So this is what we will name it as the E field. So if you want, so this is how the both is going to be acting opposite here. So this is how the E field and H field is going to be there with respect to the parallel wire type transmission lines. Right. So here if you want to make it clear, so this is what the direction of the E field over here. Right. And the H field, so this is what we can write with respect to this. So this is going to be the E field, I think. So this is going to be the E field over here. So this one. So this is what's going to be the E field. That means electric field. So and this one is going to be our H field. So E and H is going to be like this in the parallel wire type transmission lines. So next we will go with the other type of the transmission lines, that is nothing but coaxial lines. Coaxial lines. So coming to the coaxial lines, as the name itself here suggests, there are two conductors which are coaxially placed. So coaxially placed. So what is this coaxially placed? So that means here, so this is what the coaxial arrangement of the two conductors. These are very popular in our where we will these kind of cables is going to be used in the TV connectors. Our mostly like USB connectors also we are going to use this type of while connecting to the HDMI to the ports we are going to use this type of conductors, like that means this kind of cables we are going to use. So one conductor is a hollow tube, the second conductor is being located inside and coaxial with the tube. So here the dielectric can be solid or gaseous. Mostly the polyethylene dielectric medium is going to be used in this. So here, as I said, it is going to employ different types of construction over here. So one can be seen like a hollow tube here. The second conductor is going to be in coaxial with the uh, tube located inside it, right? So and so here mostly as we discussed, this kind of cables is going to be used in the as a connectors between the different type while connecting between different types of ports. We are, I think, in the TV connectors, especially in the TV connectors, where we are going to use these kind of connectors between the supply line to the TV here. So these kind of connectors, coaxial connectors. And coming to the advantages and disadvantages of this, we can see here the electric fields and H fields are confined with the outer connector and cannot leak into the free space because the polyethylene is the medium over here. And the main advantage of this is the frequency range is going to be can be extended up to 1 gigahertz. So using this coaxial, it can support the frequency up to 1 gigahertz. So one more thing is here we are going to have the dielectric losses. The more frequency, the dielectric losses is going to be more, and it is also costlier when compared to the open wire lines. So the main why we are going to use this coaxial means, so in order in the open wire lines, so we are going to have, so if we increase more frequency, that means around more than 100 megahertz, we are going to have a significant energy loss due to the radiations. So but the coaxial is going to have the comparatively less losses when compared to the open wire lines. So, and also it can support up to 1 gigahertz. Obviously, any kind of transmission line, if the frequency is getting more, obviously the losses is going to be more. Whatever may be the medium, the losses is going to be more. But the specialty of this coaxial is it can support up to 1 gigahertz frequency, right? So, so this is what these are the some of the advantages with respect to the coaxial type, and these are the disadvantages with respect to the coaxial. So the main application is with respect to the frequency range, and the disadvantage is with respect to the cost, because the open wireless are much cheaper, and the other one is the losses with respect to the frequency. Losses with respect to the frequency. Also in this you can have the E and H fields in a different manner, as it is a coaxial manner. So the E fields and H fields are also in the same manner. If you want to draw like this, right? So this is how the structure is going to be have the coaxial lines, the coaxial, and here you are going to have, this is the manner how which we are going to have in the coaxial. So these are the H fields with respect to the coaxial. So this is how the E fields and H fields is going to be there in the coaxial cable, as it is. So as it is a hollow field over here, so here you are going to have, so this is how, so this red color is going to indicate, this red color is going to indicate here the magnetic fields, H fields. This is going to indicate the H fields over here. So, so if you want to indicate the direction as in the same manner, so these are going to be the E field, and this is going to be our H field. So this is going to be our H field over here, and here, so as we discussed here, so this is going to be our H field, and these are nothing but over here which are indicated as it is here. So this is nothing but your E field. So as it is a coaxial, the E fields and H fields in the this type of transmission line is going to be like this. As here it is a transmission line, we can the construction we can make like this as the conductor, outer conductor, halo, right? So this is what the geometric construction of a coaxial construction, right? So where we can make like this the E fields and H fields. We can draw like this with respect to the E fields and H fields in a coaxial conductor conducting transmission line, right? So next we will go with the other type of construction, that is nothing but the waveguides. So the waveguide is a structure which is going to guide, right, the electromagnetic waves with minimal loss of energy by restricting the expansion to one dimension or two. So these are the different types of waveguides as mentioned over here. So these are the very important. These are very important, especially in the design of in the applications of the microwave. So we are going to use the waveguide as a medium for transmitting the signal at a microwave frequencies. So here the main types of this wave configurations is going to have, we are having TE wave. So these are all we are going to study in the EMF theory. So TE wave, transverse electric wave, and the TM wave, transverse magnetic wave, TEM wave, transverse electromagnetic wave. So the TEM mode is one of the transverse electromagnetic mode is one of the common common mode which is used in the design of not only in the coaxial cables and also in the other applications. The TEM mode is the widely used mode for transmitting the signal. So here coming to the waveguide, we are going to have so not only with minimum loss of energy, and the main thing of the this waveguide is so it can be fitted with a dielectric medium which is going to guide the electromagnetic waves at ultra high frequency range. So that means that I said mainly that is the reason why it is going to widely used in the applications of the microwave signals. And the transmitted wave here is reflected in this. You can see here it is a suitable halo conductor over here. Suitable halo conductor. So this is the type of waveguide where it is nothing but suitable halo conductor, where the transmitted wave is going to get reflected by the internal walls. The internal walls is going to reflected by the internal walls of the waveguide, and the resulting distribution of this wave, the signal, is going to be cause the transmission mode. So this transmission mode of an electromagnetic waves is going to be, usually we will discuss this transmission modes with respect to the different vectors which is going to describe the signal the waves which we can describe using the wave, right? So these types of transmission modes are, as I said, we are having four types. So one is, sorry, three types. One is the TE transverse electric wave, and the TM transverse electromagnetic wave. Transverse magnetic wave. TEM is nothing but the transverse electromagnetic wave. So the TEM is the one which is most used in the design coaxial cables and all, but the TEM cannot be used in the this waveguide, because each component is going to be given by some different factor over here. So where, because of this, the propagation constant or the propagation coefficient with respect to the phase and the amplitude is going to be vary with respect to this. So that is the reason why the TEM mode is mostly used in the coaxial cables. So this the modes of this waveguide, the transmission is going to be a different concept. It is not required to discuss much in detail here. So the definition of the waveguide and the main advantages in the applications of the micro ultra high frequency range. Right, this is what the main applications. So these waveguides, the widely used in the communication network for transmission of electromagnetic waves. So this can be, so this electromagnetic energy at each end of the waveguide is going to be stored using some cavity resonators. So this and all we will discuss in the upcoming chapters. Come to the waveguide, what are the different types and all we are going to discuss in the like micro course. We will going to discuss about this in detail in the EMF and the microwave. So the next one is which is the widely used and the fastest transmission line. That is nothing but the optical cable. So optical cable is a cylindrical dielectric waveguide which is going to transmit along its axis by the process of total internal reflection. So the total internal reflection is one of the working principle behind this optical fibers. So this TIR is very popular in the physics. You might have known it. So right, the superior transmission quality, higher information capacity, lightweight, smaller size, reduced cost, and higher security. So these are the features of this optical fiber cable. So these are now this optical fibers is going to be replacing the regular transmission lines in the communication system, right? So the low attenuation signals can be transmitted for considerable distance. So that is the reason why the optical fibers is going to be, the significance of optical fiber is going to be getting increased day by day. So and also the here the light is so the optical means the source is going to be the light. The optical means the information can be carried out using the lights. The signal is going to be in the type of light. So and this is the working principle is, so mainly use the working principle is total internal reflection, and also here the optical fiber is mainly immune to electromagnetic interferences and the radio frequency interference. So that is the reason why the optical cable are widely used, right? So this optical fiber is going to have a tremendous bandwidth or the information capacity. So that is the reason why it can transmit the signal at a highest speed, at the highest speed. And the system bandwidth of the optical cable can be increased while using the different multiplexing techniques like so that means the wavelength, that means the signal can be transmitted more than its one wavelength at multiple using multiple light sources. That means, so you can, the best example is the laser which is going to operate at different wavelength. So where the multiplexing technique used in this application is wavelength division multiplexing. So which is going to increase the information carrying capacity of the fiber, right? So if basically the fiber optic link as shown in this figure usually is going to consist of a light source, optical fiber as a transmission media, and a detector, optical detector, right? So generally each of these transmission lines is going to be made in a large number of commercial sizes with respect to different applications with different electrical characteristics, and we will discuss in these kind of applications and these kind of characteristics in the upcoming chapters, right? So these are the references which I have used for making this presentation. The mainly I have taken from this Umesh Sinha Transmission Lines and Network, so Satyaprakash Publications, right? New Delhi, 8th edition. It is the 8th edition 2003. And the other one is the JD Rider Networks Lines and Fields PHI second edition. So the fields, electromagnetic field concept I have taken from this JD Rider, and the general description for the different types of transmission lines I have used the Umesh Sinha textbook. You can follow the same for the transmission lines, Umesh Sinha Transmission Lines and Networks. Thank you very much.